You're watching Talking Points, a focus on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
And joining us now is the Republican candidate for Texas Land Commissioner and sitting state senator for District 24 out of Lakeway, Texas, Dawn Buckingham. Senator Buckingham, welcome to Talking Points.
Thank you so much. It's great to be on with you today.
It's great to have you too, because this is a position within Texas government that is very important to us here in West Texas. But I think it deserves a little more attention as we get ready for the midterms. We're dealing with Texas land, energy, and education. All of those things, I would say, are the most important three things here in West Texas. So when you take all of those into consideration, how do you hope you can impact us here in West Texas through the role of Land Commissioner?
Well, you know, having represented some of West Texas, my Senate district goes from Abilene to Bandera to Temple. You know, we know once you have a little bit of West Texas, you have all of West Texas, because there's so little representation in the state legislature. And you are exactly right. Stewarding our state lands, the vast majority of which, or a lot of them which are in West Texas, and the oil reserves on those lands is a very big, important part of this job. And our entire focus in this race is to be sure that we do everything we can to help be sure we have a good economy, safe communities. We help our students, we help our veterans. And the other really important thing that this office does is help people in disaster recovery, people who are recovering from floods and fires and hurricanes. And we just want the people who need help to be able to get that help. And we're excited about the opportunity to serve.
One of the first objectives that you list for a role as Land Commissioner is to fight inflation, to lower costs for Texans. Help us understand how the role of Land Commissioner can address those issues, because I think some people are a little unclear as to what the responsibilities really are. How can you fight inflation as Land Commissioner?
You know, the best thing we can do to help our families who are struggling financially is to keep gas prices low and not artificially suppress oil and gas up above from a government level. And that is one of the big areas of distinction between my opponent and I. He's a Green New Deal activist who talks about cutting down oil and gas. We've seen what the federal government, the Biden administration, have done with drilling on federal lands. We don't want that to happen in Texas. As you probably know, Texas is producing a majority of the oil and gas for the entire country right now. We are seeing what happens when you give up your energy independence for dependence in places like Germany, where the government is actually telling its citizens, hey, we don't have enough power for you to take hot showers right now. And they're not even in the middle of the time when they use the most energy. So being sure that we keep that energy independence, doing everything we can to lower the price of the fuel that goes in our gas tanks, that's a big step towards helping our families who need help.
Sure. We just talked with Mr. Clayburgh, and we asked him about some of the assertions you've made about his energy policy. He explained that he would like to maintain a level of oil and gas energy because it funds so many of the things we need in Texas, but to couple that with some more clean energy out here in West Texas. When you think about the future of our energy portfolio, do you agree with that we should add in more renewable energy, or have you given any thought to how that balance between oil and conservation will look under your administration?
You know, the role of the state lands, and our founders were so smart in Texas. When they became a state, we transitioned from a sovereign nation, and they decided that all the unowned lands would be given so that the students of Texas could get the best possible education. And that is one, of course, you want to be a good steward of the land, and of course we take that responsibility very seriously. But the other is that you need to maximize the profits to grow the permanent school fund, the permanent university fund, and to help the funds that help our veterans. And so that'll be my priority. And we'll see what forms of energy fit in and where, but my priority is the constitutional duty of this office to help fund education.
You know, you mentioned the permanent university fund, and I'm glad you did, because that is a very contentious issue out here. And you're speaking to Red Raider Nation right now, and have been a lot of advocates recently arguing that the permanent university fund doesn't work for us out here in West Texas. If you're Land Commissioner, you're going to be a member of the board that could decide how we use that land that now endows the University of Texas and Texas A&M. Would you be open, or do you think you would even even have the power as land commissioner to amend the way that that land funds higher education in order to bring on Texas Tech and other universities?
Well, the General Land Office Commissioner actually has no role in discerning how the funds are done. That's all constitutionally dedicated. So for Texas Tech to be added into that, it would have to pass, I believe, with 2/3 in each of the chambers of the House, and then go to the voters for a constitutional amendment. We're on board, and we'll do whatever we're required. We have been in Lubbock a couple times in the last month, and guns up, had a good game against University of Houston. Tech is having a heck of a football game. We appreciate Texas Tech. I actually have several locations in my Senate district, and we want to be helpful as we can to all of our university systems.
We just spoke with Mr. Clayburgh, and he said, quote, "My opponent doesn't have any relevant experience for this job." Quote, "She doesn't understand the responsibility of the office." How do you think your role as a state senator prepares you uniquely for this position? Are there any pieces of legislature and things that you want to point to?
Bless my opponent's heart. He just doesn't have any idea about this office, and it just shows his naivete. So being, of course, engaged in educating, being engaged in the Texas Senate, having the relationships, understanding how the state is constructed, what the laws are, and also being able to understand when you're overseeing big pots of money, sometimes state legislators want to look to get some of that money outside of what it's supposed to be used for. So our job as a guardian of these funds, and that's a big part of being in this office, is heading off any attempt to rob these funds to go to something from education. So I would tell you, I'm the one with the experience in this office. I'm the one who's had to have a day job. I've signed the front of more checks than I've signed the back of. I don't live off my oil royalty checks. And I think that my policies are good for Texas, and I'm committed to preserving the Texas we know and love for future generations.
All right, one more question for you. Speaking about guarding these funds, the former Republican administration under George P. Bush has run into some scrutiny, specifically because of the way that his office has been accused of doling out, or rather not doling out, emergency relief funds under Hurricane Harvey. In response to that, what would be your process with making sure that this office shepherds funds in the most efficient and fair way possible? And do you think that the Land Commission needs to change under new leadership after George P. Bush exits office soon?
I believe that with the benefit of hindsight, you can always do better moving into the future. We're looking forward at having these conversations in a time that is not in the middle of a crisis, being sure that we have the relationships, the tools, and the conversations, and the plans to put into action so when a major disaster does hit, we can help those folks who need to recover. My priority is that the people who need resources or need help get it. It's why I became a physician. It has driven my entire professional and political life. And so we'll be working very hard to be sure that whatever's going on that's keeping people from getting the resources they need, that we're doing our best to get them to them as fast as we can.
All right, Senator Dawn Buckingham, thanks for coming on Talking Points. Hope to see you back in Lubbock on the campaign trail soon.
Guns up. Have a great day. Take care.
And when we come back, your top headlines and an inside look into Lubbock's new road bonds.